Today we are going to be playing the best and most chaotic spacecraft simulator on the virtual market, Kerbal Space Program. This game is in fact so great that there is currently a sequel being developed, of which will be released in 2023. And before you ask, yes, I'm totally stealing the idea from the video I edited for my friend Hugo. I would have played this clip's audio, but the music I used at the time was copyrighted, so yeah, I can't really show you guys the audio. I do in fact have some mods installed, however they are only visual mods, and here they are. After starting a new save, I realized I needed to give it a name. After some minutes of pondering, I finally come up with the perfect name. Flake Space Program. I then proceeded to make a flag for our glorious space program. We started out with some cash to spend, one shitty space center, some criminally insane rocket scientists, and the urge to perform valuable research. And to fulfill that urge, we began working on this rocket is in fact so simple that it is the first rocket you're supposed to build, of which has one simple goal: up. It has a solid fuel booster and some science canisters. Its name, Bottle Rocket. And it is time to launch. Have touchdown. And after recovering the vessel, we got a total of 36 science, which is not bad considering this is our first launch. I then proceeded to go to the lab to perform some valuable research. For this rocket, I've decided to take great inspiration from the late Bottle Rocket, and with Flakey's help, I've added beefier thighs and more research modules. I then named it Bottle Rocket 2.0, and now it's time for launch. We have officially escaped the atmosphere. And while we're here, we detach the command pod from the booster. But why, you may ask? The answer has to do with passive aerodynamic stability. You may have noticed that I've added wings to the bottom part of the rocket. That makes it function much like a dart, in which it makes it very stable going forward. It pointing forward makes it extremely aerodynamic, meaning we don't get as much drag. This is very good for the way up, as we don't slow as much when going fast. However, it's not good for the way down. This is because that on the way down we need as much drag as possible so that we can deploy our parachutes. If we don't deploy our parachutes and don't slow down enough, then that means getting back to the mission, we detach the booster so we don't crash into the water at Mach 4, do some science, and now it is time to return. touchdown, marking yet another victory for the Flake Space Program, as well as 69 science. Nice. After the success of the late bottle rockets, I've decided to yet again give it beefier thighs in science modules. Turns out this rocket's thighs were so big I actually needed to put a heat shield on it. Jed, let's launch. The whole footage. And after recovering the vessel, we went back to the lab to perform some more valuable research. Dude, get out of here, you're from another game. For our fourth launch, I finally decided I'd be ditching making bottle rockets and finally be making the big boy rockets. Everyone meet the Max Supreme. And turns out, this snack is in fact so supreme that the lunch pad couldn't even handle it, so we had to upgrade the lunch pad. And with all of that out of the way, it's time for launch. Orbit has been achieved, but we keep going. And while we're all the way up here, we do some science. There we go. After well over an hour of recording, we've made it to Kerbin's orbit. and returned safely. See, Jeb is fine for now. For our 5th launch, we reused the Max Supreme and Edema research modules and did a flyby around the Mun, rewarding us with plenty of science and money. Really? Just 100 cents? Who? Finally, after well over a month of research, the Flake Space Program was going to land on a moon and bring all the Kerbals back safely. With the money I got from Launch 5, I was able to upgrade the VAB, which made it able to support beefier rocket, which is exactly what I built. Everyone get ready for the big chungus. Houston, we are go for launch. Here, we run into a little bit of a problem. As you can see, our orbit is well above Minmus' surface, and here, it is not. Don't worry though, it's an easy fix. But what if this were to happen on an interplanetary mission? I can confidently say, it would not be fun. But we push on, and do our capture burn, getting us to Minmus' orbit. We finally did it, boys. We made it to another area code. And while we're here, we do some science and some tomfoolery, as well as planting a flag. Minty Rock now claimed. Ooga booga. Astounding. Alright, Jeb. Let's go back home. We did it, boys! We made it to Minmus and returned in one piece, rewarding us with 455 science, which I used to unlock a bunch of brand new technologies. Alright, so I would have loved to continue, but I'm afraid we're all out of time. And that's gonna be it for the first KSP video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. The answer has to do. This is because on the way down we need to slow down. God frick, turns out this after recovering the vessel we went back to the land for